Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, how Oswego County is fighting against invasive species.
And how gas prices across the country compare to Oswego County.
Plus, SUNY Oswego receives a big grant from Micron.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Tonight on SUNY Oswego announced today that the school will be receiving $1 million from the Micron Community Investment Fund over the next 5 years. The grant is meant to expand SUNY Oswego's STEM education programs and help create more career pathways around Central New York. A new program titled the SUNY Oswego Regional Teacher Boot Camp Program will collaborate with the Oswego County Center for Instruction, City BOCES, and Onondaga, Cortland, Madison BOCES, also known as OCM BOCES.
SUNY Oswego President Peter Wosu says that the funding will also help expand SUNY Oswego's Vision 4040 goal of expanding access to higher education. Micron has been investing in Greater Central New York community since announcing their plans to build a $100 billion mega fab semiconductor plant in Clay, New York, creating 50,000 jobs.
2 regional businesses have donated to SUNY Oswego. Stewart Shops has donated 25 gift certificates for milk and another 25 more gift certificates for eggs. These gift certificates will be distributed at shop events on campus. One event you can find these on is April 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Lakeside Commons. O'Reilly's Auto Parts is now offering discounts on most car parts. All you need to do is show your student ID. This is only for the Oswego location.
Rebecca Manchester, the woman charged with murder for killing an Oswego man over a drug debt, was in Oswego court last Thursday for motion arguments. Authorities said Manchester and her boyfriend Scott Sullivan beat up Kevin Faderick, and Manchester then stabbed Faderick during a fight over crack cocaine last October. In court, Manchester was assigned attorneys Gillis Abbott. The trial is currently waiting to be scheduled due to the district's attorney's schedule being cramped with other cases.
Short-term rentals might have to pay a 4% bed tax soon. If passed by the legislature, has the potential to eventually bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. The first step towards collecting a bed tax on the estimated 400 to 600 short-term rentals has already begun. Short-term rental property owner now have to register online through the Oswego County Treasurer's Office to continue operating. Owners must pay a $50 fee when registering their property. Once approved, they will be placed on the registry and issued a permit.
The Oswego County Soil and Water District will receive $15,701 from the State Department of Environmental Conservation. This money will be used to reduce negative impacts of aquatic and terrestrial invasive species and go towards monitoring and controlling hemlock woolly algae to protect the threatened Easter hemlock at the Independence Park in Scriba. The DEC commissioner announced more than $5 million for various projects throughout the state.
The New York State Association of Counties presented special edition U.S. flags in honor of the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution to every county across the state. Over the summer, many events will be taking place to commemorate the anniversary. Displays will be featured at the fair, and the city of Oswego will host an Independence Day parade and celebration through the Port City over July 4th weekend, as well as being highlighted during Harbor Fest. Gas prices have been rising lately, causing residents over the U.S. to worry.
Through these worries, some are wondering how the price changes what are they looking like. Our reporter Sohad Ahmoud has more. Sohad?
Thank you, Julianne and Piper. Last week, residents from California, Texas, Florida, and students at SUNY Oswego explained their surprise to these recent price changes. A resident at Burlingame, California says the price change felt sudden as prices used to be much lower.
And I remember that morning I went there, I noticed the price went up a lot. It's like 5.7. And I went to another gas station like later that week because I was just like passing by. I saw the price is like 6.2. I was like, oh, what's happening?
As citizens in the U.S. were surprised by these changes, a resident in San Antonio, Texas, Cynthia Jones, mentions how these changes have affected her profoundly.
Minimum I used to fill up my car is $85, so it went up significantly, like $30+. So it has been very, how can I say it, painful.
These residents are involved in the working industry, but how might students feel about this? A resident in Orlando, Florida explains he travels a lot for school, causing him to have to pay a lot for gas.
My university is very far away from home, so it's like an hour and 10 minutes away from my home. So I definitely have to pay a lot for gas pricing. So that affected me very much.
Another student at SUNY Oswego, Jack Hallam, says that he faces hardships in these changes as it is now double what he used to pay.
It was like, I could fill up my car $25 for full tank of gas. Now it's 40. It's double, and that's a lot more money than I used to have to spend.
As these residents and students in California, Florida, Texas, and Oswego, New York, gas prices have been rising more compared to before. California now has a regular gas price of $6.29, costing a $2 to 55-cent difference with the gas station here at Oswego Fast Track. In Florida, the gas price currently is $4.29, leaving a 55-cent difference. Texas regular gas prices is $3.89, giving a 15-cent difference. While here at Oswego, New York, our regular gas price is around $3.74. These sudden changes leave people wondering how my gas prices look like in the future and how it might affect them. This is all for me now. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Soad. Rain continues to fall across the North Country, but the warmer temperatures are making the weather much more enjoyable.
With a quick look at the forecast, here's Storm Team 10 meteorologist Bradley Jacobs.
Thanks, guys. And that nice famous quote that we're all used to hearing, March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. Not this year. March is going out like a lion, bringing severe weather and flooding risks across much of the region today, extending into the later half of the week. Now, last call as well aboard that temperature roller coaster, as temperatures are going to dip, then go up, then keep going down as we're still stuck on that ride of the roller coaster. And I'll have a full weather forecast ahead, seeing how Easter Sunday is going to look if you're going to have that outdoor Easter egg hunt. But for now, be sure to stay tuned and back to the desk with Piper and Julianne.
Thanks, Bradley. Can't wait to hear about my full weather. Mike Haney will be taking over as Syracuse University's chancellor earlier than anticipated. Current Chancellor Kent Syverud announced that his last day as chancellor will be the university's commencement on May 10th. Haney will begin immediately after, while Syverud will start his work at the University of Michigan.
A traffic stop in Morrisville led to a DWI arrest and confiscation of a ghost handgun on Sunday. Around 4:30 a.m., deputies stopped Randy Agnio in a pickup truck on West Main Street for several violations. After approaching the car, deputies arrested the driver and searched the car, where they found a ghost gun under the passenger seat. Driver Agnio was charged with DWI and authorized lights. His passenger was charged with criminal possession of a firearm. Both men are in jail to await arraignment.
A nurse practitioner who is currently working in Utica and formerly Syracuse has been arrested after allegedly inappropriately touching one of his new patients. Victor Petrovets was arrested after a patient told authorities that he conducted an unnecessary invasive exam. Police believe that there could be more victims who have been affected by his actions. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Utica Police.
A juvenile has been charged after a rape was reported at North Country School during the school day. The rape allegedly happened around 9 a.m. at the Hoovington Central School, according to police. The juvenile was arrested and will appear in front of a judge in St. Lawrence County Court at a later date. Police have not publicly identified the victim due to his age. If convicted, he could face a sentence of up to 20 years in prison.
The Art Association of Oswego held their 27th annual art show.
Here is WTOP-10 reporter Leon Brooker to tell us more.
Thank you. The history of the Art Association of Oswego is rich, and here's more on the event. This past weekend was the 27th annual Lakeside Statewide Juried Art Exhibition at the Oswego Civic Art Center on Fort Ontario. I spoke with Karen Ringwald, the co-president of the Art Center, about the history of the association and what they have to offer. During our conversation, Ringwald told me that the building was originally left empty after its use in the fort. In 1963, the guild, players, and volunteers put all of their effort to get a place for them. In the 1990s, the guild folded and was turned into what we now know as the Art Association of Oswego, who still reside in that brick building. The association collaborates with local artists often. They have other events that happen at different times of the year. For example, they hold member shows as well as solo shows.
Very popular last 2 years was Lost But Not Forgotten. In other words, you bring in artwork by people who have passed away and have a chance for that work to be seen by other people. And that was a very emotional show.
The association offers art classes and other art opportunities. The basement holds a ceramic studio. The room I spoke to Ringwald in is the general art classroom. They also have a theater. If you're interested in attending a class, go to their website, oswegoarts.org, to sign up.
Like I said, go to oswegoarts.org for more information. That's all from me. I'm Leon Brooker, and back to the desk.
Thanks, Leon. Still ahead tonight, a big win in court for these two media companies. Hear about the decision made, the SAFE funding.
Plus, a sudden decision from an airline CEO. More on the developing story regarding the leader of Air Canada.
Plus, I'll have a full look at my forecast when we come back. You're watching WTOP-10 Nightly News.
$50. You better watch out. He's got to swat you like a bug.
That is not.
Good evening and welcome back to your Nightly News here on WTOP-10. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Bradley Jacobs, and we're going to take a quick look at our watches and warnings that have been going on all throughout the day today. So we have flood watches much across this maroon area right here. Those were issued earlier this morning and will be expiring tomorrow evening, as we're going to have more rainfall coming through overnight into tomorrow that could bring the risk for more flooding. Now, we do have some other warnings in these light green areas. Those are going to be your flood warnings. And we did have a severe thunderstorm watch that did recently expire, but you will notice over here to my right out of our region and down here in Pennsylvania, we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings still kind of lingering around our areas today. Now, we also did have some tornado warnings across the region today, some out by Buffalo, others across central New York down the Ithaca region, and Delaware County right over here having 3 tornado warnings over the last couple of hours. Now, I am sure National Weather Service will be out investigating these, and we will report back to you at a later time if any tornadoes did indeed touch down. Now, taking a current look at our current conditions, it's about 51 degrees outside, still very mild, rain showers, chance of some thunderstorms here and there still. Dew point very humid at 49 degrees, making a relative humidity of 93%. Low pressure at 997 millibars, indicating that wet weather that we're seeing. And winds still pretty calm coming out of the southwest at about 8 miles per hour. Taking a quick look across much of the region, still very mild for this time of year. Up in Watertown, those areas still a little bit cooler. Now we can see it is still very much warmer where these rainstorms that just recently came through are now heading out, so they will still have a lot of energy to keep fueling them going on throughout the night. Now taking a look at that live radar, bang, thunderstorms right here, thunderstorms up in the Watertown area and over here as well, just continuing to push on throughout eastern New York. That will be affecting us overnight. Now looking ahead to tomorrow morning, clearing out, still relatively cool as that cold front comes through. Now going through tomorrow night into Thursday, we're going to have some rain showers hitting about southern New York, well missing our area. And then continuing on into Thursday into Friday, some rain showers again over Thursday night, heading into Friday morning, we're going to have some rain showers still here and there, creating that wet week that we've been seeing. Now a quick look at tomorrow. Much cooler than where we are right now, 42 degrees for a high. That is no April Fool's for you. It's going to get cold. Still mostly cloudy. Might have some breaks here or there of some sunshine. Winds are going to pick up a little bit more coming from off the lake there at about 10 miles per hour. So maybe have that windbreaker on. It's going to be a little bit cooler of a day, kind of like one of those fall days. Again, Wednesday we just discussed there. Thursday, Friday, some more rain showers, some slight chance of thunder heading into the weekend as well. Warming back up, 66 for a high on Friday. And as we take a look at that 7-day forecast heading into the weekend, warming up towards Easter Sunday, some PM showers Saturday, thunderstorms Saturday night heading into Sunday morning, then clearing on out heading into next week. Again, a little bit cooler as we'll have another cold front pushing on through. That's all for my full weather forecast. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Bradley. Gas prices have now surpassed $4 a gallon for the first time since the Iran war began. According to the AAA reports, regular is now averaging $4.02, the highest price since 2022. This comes after President Trump has threatened to blow up Iran's oil facilities. With the ongoing war driving fuel prices up by more than 30%, Vice President J.D. Vance told consumers they will face a rough road ahead on gas prices in the coming weeks, but assures that the spike is temporary and prices will fall after the war has ended. Shirley Hubbard has the latest.
Thick smoke was seen rising from an Israeli oil refinery after being hit by debris from an intercepted attack Monday. And new images of a wrecked U.S. aircraft with a damaged fuselage have surfaced. This more than 1 month into the U.S.-Israel war with Iran, the White House downplayed fears of further escalation and gave a status update Monday.
Despite all of the public posturing you hear from the regime and false reporting, talks are continuing and going well.
However, Iran says they are not.
As I have mentioned before, the material conveyed to us under any title, such as the 15-point plan, has mainly included largely excessive, unrealistic, and unreasonable demands.
In a Truth Social post, President Trump detailing some of his plan and the consequences of not reaching a deal, saying, quote, "If for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Hormuz Strait is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants and oil wells."
Their best move is to make a deal.
Trump says the U.S. is in discussions with a, quote, new and more reasonable Iranian regime. However, he's given an April 6th deadline to reach a deal with Tehran, after which point, according to him, the targeting of Iranian energy sites would proceed. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Now to another top headline, as the CEO of Air Canada will be stepping down following the high-profile deadly crash at LaGuardia Airport. The head of the Canadian airline, Michael Russo, has announced he will be retiring just days after a plane hit an emergency vehicle on a runway at the airport. Air Canada has been working on a succession plan for Russo for more than 2 years, with external search to look for a replacement starting back in January. After leading the company for over 2 decades, Russo will be stepping down at the end of the third quarter later this year.
Several former FBI agents are now suing Director Kash Patel, claiming they were unjustly fired. A new class action lawsuit accuses Patel of firing the agents for reasons that were politically motivated by the Trump administration. According to the lawsuit, some agents were part of a team that investigated Trump's efforts to challenge the results of the 2020 presidential election, with the employees ranging from veteran investigators to new recruits. A federal judge will now decide if the class action case will move forward.
Staying with the Trump administration, a judge has struck down the order to end both NPR and PBS funding. National Public Radio and the Public Broadcasting Service scored a big win in court as Judge Randolph Moss ruled that the part of Trump's executive order targeting the media entities was unconstitutional. Moss said the order crossed a First Amendment line, now opening the door for potential funding to return to the media companies in the future. In the wake of action by President Trump and Congress, several public radio and TV stations had layoffs. In a statement, PBS said that they are thrilled with the decision.
Another setback for the president as his construction plans for a massive ballroom at the White House have been blocked by a federal judge. The plans have been blocked from moving forward by Judge Richard Leon, who wrote, "The President of the United States is the steward of the White House for future generations of first families. He is not, however, the owner." The construction on the ballroom has been stopped, but Judge Leon will delay implementing his ruling for 2 weeks. If the president decides to appeal the decision, the only way for the construction to continue is if Congress approves the plan.
Now to new details regarding golf legend Tiger Woods following his arrest on Friday. Deputies say that Woods told them he was on his phone and changing the radio when he failed to observe the traffic slowing ahead. Investigators found 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket, but a breath test revealed no alcohol was in his system. Woods now faces DUI-related charges and has pled not guilty to the initial misdemeanor charges. Woods has announced he will be stepping away from golf to seek treatment for a period of time.
Still ahead tonight, one last check of the weather, and we will reveal our picture of the week.
But first, I've got the latest in Lakers sports and my full sports report next. We'll be right back here on WTOP-10.
Do you like reading? Do you like reading books? Do you like looking at books? Do you like having a collection of books in your living room?
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty,
spoiler alert! Okay, Lord, why did I write this in yellow? I told you! Welcome back Between the Pages.
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy! I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Simon.
Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here.
Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stumped still?
Joe, I'm gonna sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
Welcome back, everybody. Season 2 of Oswego Lazo.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Casey DeSalle with tonight's Sports Rundown. Starting with some women's swimming and diving news, Oswego Lakers' Jana LaFerriere is being recognized as the SUNYAC Swimmer of the Year for the 2026 season. Throughout the year, the senior standout from Burnt Hills, New York, consistently topped the podium in dual competition, swimming the 50 and 100-meter freestyle events against Potsdam, Cortland, Fredonia, and Berry College. LaFerriere capped off her season winning the 50, 100, and 200 at the SUNYAC Swimming and Diving Championships, solidifying her as one of the premier swimmers in the conference. Switching to lacrosse now, after dominating on senior day over the weekend, the Oswego women's team traveled to SUNY Canton today to defeat the Kangaroos 13-2, extending their winning streak to 4 games. Aubrey Green led the team in scoring with 5 points on 3 goals and 2 assists, while Sadie Zemanek forced 5 turnovers on the defensive end. The next game will be this Friday at Laker Turf Stadium against the Oneonta Red Dragons at 5 p.m. It's officially baseball season with the MLB underway, but the Oswego Buccaneers varsity baseball team will make their season debut this upcoming Saturday. The Buccaneers will look to turn things around after a disappointing campaign last year, going 7-11 overall and 2-5 in league play, resulting in a first-round exit in the Section 3 playoffs. First pitch is at 10 a.m. against the Salem Generals at the Gutches Lumber Sports Complex in Cortland. In Syracuse news, the highest-rated signee in school history, Calvin Russell III, is out indefinitely after suffering an undisclosed spring practice injury. Russell, a 6'6" recruit from Miami, Florida, signed with the Orange last December as ESPN's number 4 receiver and number 36 player overall in the 2026 class. Expected to make an immediate impact, Russell's injury marks a potentially significant blow to a Syracuse receiving corps, missing its top 7 receiving leaders from last season. Now let's head to Paycom Center, where the number 1 in the West takes on the number 1 in the East, Pistons. Skipping ahead to the second half, Kevin Herter at the top of the key finds Dennis Jenkins in the corner, who drives to the basket, kicks out Javonte Green for the 3. Later in the third, SGA takes it to the paint, throws it up. Tolu Smith gets the offensive board out to Marcus Sasser, over to Jenkins. That's all for my sports rundown. Stay tuned for Picture of the Week after the break.
If it's hockey, it's on Hockey Talk.
The hockey gods will bless me again with another victory.
Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests.
Rangers are going to beat them simply because vibes.
Vibes.
You are winning this on vibes?
That's a solid argument.
As they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, only on WTOP.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
He's excused. Pretty girl scared when she see me sleep.
Two most important people here, by the way.
Facts.
Me and Eddie?
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah.
You too.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. It's time to reveal our Picture of the Week.
The winner this week, courtesy of our own Piper Kiernan, with her dog, Teddy, stealing the spotlight.
Although the rain is nothing to smile about, we can all smile looking at this adorable picture.
If you would like to submit a Picture of the Week, you can email our producers, Logan Russo and Eddie McAlpine. Bradley, can you give us a final look at the weather?
So yeah, I mean, very busy day, tornadoes, flooding. If you ever hear a tornado warning, the best thing to do is get into the lowest level interior room without windows for safety. Flooding is going to be something we're going to be dealing much often this spring, so get to higher levels, the higher levels, and turn around, don't drown when you're driving.
It's pretty cool. I didn't know about that for tornadoes. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Casey, anything else? Final sports you got on
Yeah,
this?
like I said, women's lacrosse is facing a SUNYAC rival in Oneonta this week. It's going to be a big game for them. They had a shaky start to the season, of course, but they really turned around that 4-game win streak, so it should be a good one in Laker Turf on Friday.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, that's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for the unofficial sports show with Wine and Zoe.
Thank you for watching, and keep dodging the rain showers.
Have a great night, everyone.